evening. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Svi, over to you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Cook Along, which is a joint venture with the KLBD, the London-based in Kashrus Division, and the United Synagogue. My name is Svi Brooks. I work for the London-based in. I have the pleasure of coordinating all the supervision for all our caterers. Obviously, this time of year, because of COVID, we're a little bit quieter, but generally speaking, we could be dealing with anything between 35 to 40 functions a week, sometimes 25 to 30 on a Sunday. So it's quite a hectic situation. Currently, there's far less jobs going on because of COVID. Celia Clyne is one of our esteemed caterers who has been catering in excess of 30 years. She's been working together with us for the last 20 years or so. I've had the pleasure of doing some very big functions with Celia, some very small functions. We've done things like Limud, which is feeding 2,500 people. We've done smaller weddings, bar mitzvahs. From every walk of life, Celia has been there, and we've done it together. Being Shavuot, obviously, we're going to be focusing on milchik things because Shavuot is a festival that primarily we all like to eat milchiks. I always feel that Shavuot is one of the nicest yontifs because it's a time we receive the Torah. It's a time when everything began. It's a time where it gives us a chance to focus on the actual Torah, the Shulchan Aruch, and all its laws. Major laws in Torah are kashrus, which is where we come in at the moment, and how to deal with milk, meat, etc., and various also other intricate situations. Celia is going to demonstrate some dishes that I'm sure we'll all enjoy seeing how to make. Do feel free to interject and ask questions, whether it's regarding kashrus or whether it's regarding the actual food. We're here to have a nice evening, and we're here to try and learn whatever we can via Celia together. So over to Celia, and we'll start the evening.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Not very loud, but we can hear you.
I've not got a very loud voice, I'm sorry. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm very honoured to be asked to do this demonstration for you all, and looking forward to cooking along with you. One of the first dishes we're going to make is aubergine parmigiana, which is a particular favourite of mine. And it's my version of it. I have no connections with anybody Italian or know any Italian chefs, but this is my version of aubergine parmigiana, which I hope you're going to enjoy. And it's quite simple to make, and it's something you can prepare before, so it's good for you preparing for Yom Tov. So I presume you've all got a recipe in front of you as well. So we're going to start off by preparing the aubergines. So if you can, those of you that are cooking along, will you put a pan of water on to boil? Because we're going to cook the aubergines in a different way to what you've probably done before. So I've got a pan on the cooker. I'm just going to top it up with some more water. And then I'm going to look at the aubergines with you. When you buy your aubergines, you should buy them firm and shiny so you get really good quality. Most people with aubergines end up frying them. And when you fry them, they get very greasy. And with an aubergine, a little bit like a sponge, they absorb everything that's around it. So if you've got a sauce, it will absorb the sauce. And the last thing you want it doing is absorbing too much oil. So this is a method I found of cooking aubergine, which I think is a bit different. And we're going to actually cook them in boiling water. So if you can, all those of you that are cooking can put a pan on with some water ready boiling. So by the time we've sliced them, the water will be ready. Okay. Take off the stalk from the end of the aubergine. Somebody's baby here. And then we're going to cut them into slices about so thick, not too thick. So slice along with me, if you will.
That's about 1 inch thick, Celia, yeah?
No, nowhere near.
Oh no, much less, small, thin slices.
Thin slices. Because it's going to be layered up and you don't want it to be, you want all the flavours blending together. You also need some kitchen paper and a tray to put these on when they come out of the water. So when you buy these, you're looking for 2 decent size aubergines, which in my mind is about a pound in weight because I'm an old-fashioned girl. It's about half a kilo. I'm trying very hard to convert properly to kilos and grams. Okay, so I'm just going to do one for the moment because, of course, like everybody that does a demonstration, I prepared one earlier. So tray of rings, pop them into the water. And a little bit of salt added to the water to give it some taste. So those are on cooking now. Is anybody actually cooking along with us? Will you put your hand up if you are? Can you tell me, Steve?
You've got 1, 2.
If a few people are cooking, I'll do it a little slower.
2. You've got two ladies are cooking.
Right.
Oh, 3. Sorry, we've got another hands up.
We might get encouraged.
So we've got 3. Well, we've got 3. We've actually got 4 because it seems to be a double team there.
Is there a duo there?
Yes, we've got a duet going on.
Great. Okay. So once your water is boiling, pop the aubergines in, and they take about 5 minutes in the water. I've got a tray for when they come out, and I usually double piece of paper to absorb the liquid. And then when you've done that, we need to find a couple of cloves of garlic, which if you can peel them, if you're cooking along with me, and then I'll show you what to do with them. It's a bit of a blunt knife today. You'll notice that I've cut the aubergine in circles and not long ways. A lot of people cut them long ways, and that's not as good for this dish because it's much easier to serve if it's in circles. It feels very quiet because everyone's muted. Okay, I'll just get rid of the rubbish.
Feel free to interject with questions, everybody.
If you want to speak, just pop your hand up and Zvi will unmute you.
Well, I'll mute you.
This process of the Parmigiana, you could actually do a day or even 2 days before you're actually going to cook it. It won't harm in any way. And one of the jobs is to make sure they dry off a bit. So guess what? Here's one we have done. They're quite soft and they change the look a little bit.
So this could be made tomorrow for Yom Tov, Celia?
Pardon?
Could be made tomorrow for Yom Tov?
Thursday. Maybe
better Sunday.
Yeah, I would say Sunday if you can.
Sunday.
Yeah, you could possibly. Maybe you could make it Friday for Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it should keep. This is just cooking through. This is the dish I'm going to cook it in. I've done it see-through so that you can watch it cooking. I haven't made one to show you finished, so I'm hoping it turns out okay because that's the one I've got. Okay, so while my aubergines are cooking, we're going to start the tomato sauce. And the recipe I've given you for the tomato sauce is what I call a basic recipe that you can use for many things. So you can use it over a pasta dish. You could use it as a base for your bolognese. Many, many uses. If you don't feel like cooking too much, then you could use a pre-prepared jar or a tin. But when you see how easy this is and how reasonably priced it is, you wonder why you do it, because the taste is so much better than buying a pre-made one. Okay, so for this, I've got an onion that I've peeled. And all I'm going to do with that is just cut it into pieces, just so it cooks through. Nothing special. They don't all have to be the same. We're going to actually blitz it. Okay, so if you prepare your onion and leave it to one side, and then I've got 2 decent sized cloves of garlic, which I'm going to actually crush. Just taking on my aubergine again. We have actually served Parmigiana as a first course to a meal, which is very nice. You could serve it as a main course, or you could serve it as a little starter before a meal.
How much salt did you put in the aubergine in the pot?
About a good teaspoonful, I would say.
A teaspoon in that size pot. Okay.
I would say so.
Thank you.
Taste. I'm a bit of a salt fiend, though. I do like it, I must say. I know it's not good for you, but I do enjoy salt. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm just going to put some oil in a small pan, some olive oil. I like to cook with olive oil. A little bit to cover the bottom. These are nearly cooked. So when these are cooked, they look like this. If you pop them onto the tray to just strain all the water off.
So they're still quite firm?
No, not really.
Or they've softened out?
They've softened.
Okay.
That's about as much cooking as they get. You know, in the oven, they don't cook an awful lot more. I'll just get rid of that. Okay. So, those that are cooking, are you keeping up with me? So we're just warming the olive oil through, and then I'm going to add the onion. You know it's done, there's a bit of a sizzle, you know you're there. And we don't want to make it too brown. It's what's known as sweating the onion, so that you bring out the flavour, you soften it, and you get the sweetness. Because if you slow cook onions, you get a beautiful sweet flavour. And then while that's just cooking slowly, I'm going to crush the garlic. I quite like an old-fashioned garlic crusher. If you haven't got one, you just chop it on the board.
We're going to unmute everybody, and that way, if you have questions, you can interject yourself and ask Celia directly.
It's nicer if you do, otherwise it's a bit boring to just...
So you'll all be unmuted in a second.
Thank you.
That's just cooking through. So in the tomato sauce, I've got a tin of tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes, but unless they're absolutely in season and very cheap, there's actually not much point, I don't think. I think you get more flavour, no work, and the tin tomatoes are pretty good. So for this, I've gone for an Italian chopped tomato. Entirely up to you. If you feel you want to use fresh tomatoes, you should peel them and take it from there. Okay. Now the other thing is,
just to recap, I couldn't hear. I'm on my phone. I can't actually see anything, and my phone's in the kitchen. My desktop's in the lounge. So I put the 2 aubergines in water with 2 teaspoonfuls of salt. Is that right?
Yeah, 1 or 2. It doesn't really matter. Yes. And then you go cook it, not so it softens but doesn't fall apart.
Right. Okay. So it's on not a maximum temperature then. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's quick for you. And then by the side of it, you want a tray with a couple of sheets of kitchen roll or something absorbent. You could even use a very clean tea towel to take the water away.
Okay.
You'll notice I didn't add the garlic. I like to, if I'm, in fact, mostly when I add garlic, these days I tend to add it towards the end of the cooking time, and that way it doesn't burn and you get maximum flavour out of it. So I'm just waiting until the onion softens.
So should we still be leaving the aubergines boiling, or should we switch the gas off now?
Are they softening at all?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah. So if they're not soft enough, I'd leave it boiling. And then we're going to take them out. So you want to take them out while they hold the shape. Let me show you mine. That you can see that would hold. It changes the colour on the edge.
Are we able to send out the recipe at the moment? Somebody's just asked and we didn't receive it.
So I'm going to do that. Okay.
Is there a way we can send the recipe out?
I can't do it from here.
What do we do with the onion once it's cooked?
If it's cooked, just put it. We're going to put the garlic in with it, which
Right,
I'm
okay.
going to do.
Right, thank you.
And then just keep it moving round and cook it for about another minute or 2 to get the flavour in. Has the gentleman managed to sort the aubergine out?
So, I mean, yes, it's still cooking.
Still cooking, okay. And you could get your onion on while you're waiting.
I've already made tomato sauce and the bechamel sauce. I did that before you
cooks have we got at the moment?
Put your hand up if you're actually cooking, and then we can see if I can see.
Okay. Are you up to the same stage as Celia? So, is it Sandra?
Yes, I am.
Oh, lovely. Good. Okay.
It's just cooked.
And who else is cooking?
I am trying to.
You? That's Nadia. Are you all up to the right stage? Let's unmute you.
So now I've had the garlic cooking for a few minutes. I'm now going to add the tinned tomatoes. And very important, when you cook tomatoes, they tend to be quite acid. So you need to add a little bit of sugar to the recipe. So I just normally pop it in. So let's just see how much I've told you. About half a teaspoon is probably about right. But at this stage, when the sauce is cooked, you need to taste it and make sure it's, you know, the right acidity. So I'm going to add about a half to a teaspoon of sugar. If you don't want to add sugar because you're health conscious, you could add a sugar substitute, whatever you use. Quite often I use agave at home. I do like that, you know, the sugar syrup. And then into the same pan, the water. I think it's 8 ounces, if I remember. Yeah, 8 fluid ounces. And I'm going to bring that all to the boil to cook through.
8 fluid ounces.
Do feel free to ask questions. You can raise your hands, we can unmute you, or you can send it in by text and I'll read it out. Or type it in.
Do you have to boil?
Yes, bring it to the boil then.
Yep, thank you. It's great fun.
Well, I hope you're going to have a most gorgeous dish, either to eat tonight, tomorrow, or whenever you decide.
Tomorrow probably. I can't wait till Yontif.
Well, as I say, it's one of my favourites. You can just have it as a main course, or you can have it as a starter. If you had it as a starter, you might follow it with a fish main course. That would be nice.
Yeah. It's going to be a main course.
Yeah, mine would be a main course. Okay, that's coming to the boil. So this tomato recipe is one that you can use for anything, and you can then, if you wanted to, and you'll find you don't really need to, you could add some fresh herbs in here. If you like basil, add some basil, whatever takes your fancy really, but I think you'll find that it hardly needs anything. Just the slow cooking of the onion is what gives it the flavour. Right, so I'm going to let that cook.
Are our cooks all up to the same stage, all together with us?
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
excellent.
I am anyway.
Okay, in which case we're going to go on to stage 3 of this dish, which is making a bechamel sauce, a white sauce, which isn't always found in a parmigiana, but I think you're going to find that it absolutely enhances the dish. And what I like to do is add a layer of this through the middle. So when you cut into it, it's got a creamy feel to the whole dish. So I'm just going to get the ingredients for that.
What was Lindsay and Gabriel doing? You look like you're enjoying yourself.
So the aubergine is now looking quite brown. So should I switch it off now or empty out the water?
You need to take it out of the water. I think it might be better to, if you've got something like this or a fish slice.
What about just emptying the water out, just tipping the pan and emptying the water out?
If you can, if you're good with doing that. But
Okay.
I think you'll find at some stage you'll have to lift them out.
Okay, thank you.
On the sauce, what can you use instead of nutmeg? Because I haven't got any.
You can leave it out.
Okay, thank you.
Leave it out. Just make sure when we flavour it that you've got plenty of salt and pepper in it.
Right.
I'm a bit of a fiend on nutmeg. I really love the taste of it. If it's used in a sauce, I'll tell you where else I use it, and not everybody does, and that's in my leek and potato soup.
Oh,
Really, really enhances the flavour.
Try and have to buy that and try it.
Just a little bit, and it lasts forever. In fact, you can buy just the ground nutmeg, or this one I've had for years, and it lasts for years. I think I bought it on some Caribbean island when I was lucky and we were able to travel.
We'll come back soon. We'll come back soon. Fair enough.
It came with a tiny little grater and whole nutmegs in it. So very, very fresh when you grate it off.
Celia, somebody's asking after the sauce has been brought to the boil, do you leave it to simmer or turn it off?
Simmer, it needs to simmer.
You leave it to simmer on a low flame.
Okay. So
How
that
long should it simmer for?
might take 10, 15 minutes maybe. It'll start to thicken up, and then we're going to pulverize it. So it makes it
okay.
thick. Okay. So meanwhile, we'll start our third sauce, our third part. So we want a clean pan. We want some butter or margarine. We want the flour and some milk. I've used butter because it's so rare that I get a chance to cook with butter. I thought I'm really going to go for it. But if you do use butter or margarine, it shouldn't be the soft, easy spreadable one. It should be the block, either margarine or butter, because it contains less water. So go for the old-fashioned one. So in the pan, am I okay to go on to the next stage? Yeah. In the pan, I'm putting the butter.
There'll be tips I hope will inspire you. So we thought, why not try and get past the distance?
I think we can hear somebody's radio in the background, which might need to be self-muted.
Tonight will be Katrina. What a song.
I didn't think anything would come of it, and then a few weeks later I got a call.
Okay, so the sauce is just coming to the boil on mine, and then it's going to simmer. This one, I'm now going to just melt the butter, not boil it away, just literally melt it. And then we're going to have the flour laid out ready, and we're going to add it away from the heat. And that's one of the secrets of making a good sauce. Okay, so we're going to melt this. Try to take too many minutes. My people that aren't cooking are very quiet.
They're very quiet. It's that.
They do. Even you're quiet today, sweet.
I'm enjoying watching you doing just. How many people is this for?
It is. Depends how hungry you are.
I would say that's 2 portions, no?
Yeah, I'd say 4. So there you are.
You'd say 4. There you are. I mean, as a main course.
The flour.
So do I. So do I. Okay. What I'm going to do is I've got the aubergine ready now. The tomato sauce is well on the way. We're going to do the white sauce, and then we can assemble the whole dish. You're not used to watching me cook, Svi. We're normally both watching chefs cook, aren't we?
I know.
So that's
we're usually producing for lots and lots of people.
Yeah, yeah. So some of you may or may not know, but when we do limud, we have like over 2,000 people for every meal for a week.
Yes, with special diets.
With special diets. Okay, so in the pan, I've got the butter bubbling away, just literally melted. And then I'm going to pop the flour in all in one go and stir it.
You just put butter and the flour in there?
Yeah, nothing else in there at all.
No salt?
Let me show you. Give it a stir up, and then when it's all mixed together, then you put it back on the heat for about a minute, and you keep stirring the whole time. If you don't put it back on the heat, the sauce will taste floury. What
Right.
you're actually doing now is making what's known as a roux. And it cooks through. Two minutes. How's everyone's sauces doing? Are they all cooking away there?
Fellow
Yeah.
cooks, how are we doing?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Yes.
Good.
How's your sauce?
It's not very
Doing
exciting
all right?
so far.
Hi, Celia.
Yeah.
It's Yvonne.
Hi.
I've only just come. I know you're from Limousin, if you remember.
I can't see you because I think you're on the other screen. There's quite a few.
You're not missing anything.
Just let me do the sauce. So I've got the roux at the bottom, and then you've got your milk. Now this bit you can't rush too much. You need to add a little at a time to make it smooth. So
Can I just ask what you're making? I've just joined you.
we're making aubergine parmigiana, an Italian dish, and it's aubergine tomato sauce, a lovely creamy bechamel sauce. And then if you want to, a little bit of cheese on the top. Okay, so this is a slower bit of the process. You could just add a little at a time to start with. Eventually it all gets mixed in and you can start adding it a bit quicker.
Great. Now, whoever lives near Manchester, they could come and sample it afterwards and do a tasting panel.
They definitely could. That's what normally happens when you do cookery demonstrations.
That's
You
right.
click your eyelids and everybody moves forward and the whole lot's gone in a second.
Where are other cooks from? Are they London based?
Pardon?
Yeah,
My
Edgware.
fellow cooks?
I'm from Edgware.
Oh, I'm from Edgware, so not far.
Oh, there you go. So you can come around and sample it.
There you do.
You never know.
I don't think anyone else is talking to you, actually.
Muswell Hill.
Oh, also not far. I was there the other day.
Joy, tell them where you're from.
I'm logging in from Houston, Texas. Celia is my lifelong friend.
Welcome.
Oh, that's
Wow.
wonderful.
Sorry, I meant to welcome you
Oh,
personally. especially
lovely.
all the way from
Amazing.
Houston.
Enjoying this tremendously, along with my other lifelong friends who are also on the screen.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
Joy.
Aren't we
Ah,
There are-
we've got a reunion as well tonight.
There's a few of us, we've been friends since we were children.
Lovely.
Lucrative
Celia, do you remember me from Limousin or not?
I can't see you.
Wait a minute,
Let me-
Yvonne. Wait a minute, I'm somewhere here. I've got a thing on my hair.
Where?
I've got this thing on my hair.
I can't see you.
Never mind, you're not missing anything.
Oh yeah, I must be. Hang on.
I've got a scarf on my with a
Of course, we remember you from the 2,500 participants every year.
we chatted a lot. We
I think I do
chatted a
remember you
lot at
coming into the
Limousin.
dining room.
I know exactly who she is.
Yeah, I was going to say we chatted. I'm the one that doesn't walk too well, if you remember. I was in
Yeah.
a electric scooter.
Yes, I do remember.
I was going to say, do you remember now?
Yeah, I do remember you coming with the scooter. Yes.
Yay!
It's
It was
quite-
Lim.
Didn't we just all miss it this year?
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I wasn't there.
No, it didn't happen. It was.
I know, I'm
much-
joking.
Much smaller online thing.
Yeah, I did it online.
I did. That's a point. I was online. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that very
So did
much.
I enjoyed it. Very
It
nice.
was tremendous.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
Yes, it
It was,
was.
like
it
there
was
was-
smaller. It was a smaller event.
Well, obviously, but it was 3 days, wasn't it? It was still 3
I think
days.
so. Yeah. I don't
Yes, it
think they did
was.
the Shabbos part.
Yes, they did.
They did?
the Shabbat one. Yes, they did Friday to Sunday.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I was speaking to somebody about it. One of the things I learned there was on must have been on Friday before Shabbat,
Yeah.
about doing a what's it called? I can't remember. Some sort of I can't
Patterns, was
remember.
it? Was it the circle patterns?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, I love that.
So who's saying that? Who's speaking?
I'm Sandra. I'm in Edgware.
Oh, you're also in Edgware. So I thought that was terrific. I'd never come across it before.
Oh, I don't know who's talking.
Mandala yoga, mandala
That was
yoga.
it, mandala. Yeah, that was
Celia,
lovely.
I can't hear you for a minute. 1 minute.
Can you?
Can't
Can
hear you,
anybody hear
Celia.
Celia?
She's muted.
You're muted, Celia.
Celia, you need to unmute yourself.
Muted.
That's it.
That's it.
Right.
Oh, you mean somebody else found that wonderful? The
Yes. Yes.
that was super. That. Oh wow.
Lovely. Can't hear you,
I'm
Celia.
going to bring it to the boil and add some salt and pepper and some nutmeg. And that will be our bechamel sauce. So a little bit of black pepper.
Have you done this before on Zoom?
A little bit of salt.
No, you'd normally attend. This is because of COVID.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know she did demonstrations.
Does it matter which type of salt? So
No, just any salt will do.
any salt.
Do I do demonstrations? That's how I started off. I used to teach home economics.
Oh,
Uh,
gracious.
in another world, a very long time ago, I was a cookery teacher. I taught cookery, science, and science of food.
Oh, I see. Gracious.
I don't know how my path changed, but along the way, it changed.
Just slightly.
Yeah, so I used to teach up to A level in school, in a girls' grammar school.
Oh, that's why you can talk and demonstrate.
Well, it's a long time since I've really done it. There you are. So what happened was, I had my family very young, and there's the King David School near us wanted to run a cookery course for newly marrieds and engaged.
Oh, I attended one of those years ago.
Yeah, yeah, so did I, but not yours.
I was going to say not yours, obviously. Didn't help me at all.
How many students passed their A level learning how to cook and have probably aspired into catering via Celia, I wonder?
But more importantly, were the ones that came to the night.
The ones that what?
Can't hear you. You have to get near the microphone.
Oh, I'll burn my sauce up.
No, that won't do.
All the people that came to the night school then got married, and the years have gone by, and I ended up doing all their children's bar mitzvahs, their weddings.
Oh wow, that's so nice.
Brilliant.
I've gone through the generations, and so
I think you're on third generation Simchas, aren't you, Celia?
Yeah,
Quite a few.
It's a lot of generations, but I
there's something on the chat. There was a question just now, Celia. You probably missed it.
Yes.
Celia, somebody's just asked why you added the milk off the heat, as he was always taught to put the milk into a sauce when it's on the heat.
You make it lumpy if you do that. You can add a little bit and heat it as you go along, but
Right.
it would be better as long as you've done that first stage where you heat it with the flour.
Yeah.
Then it will taste cooked. If you
Okay, thank you very much. I'm
Does that answer
sorry
your
I
question,
couldn't
Keith?
unmute before.
She said she couldn't. She said
Yes,
on there she
thank
couldn't
you. Yeah,
unmute.
I'm Steph actually. It's Keith's wife, Steph.
Okay. Does that answer your
It's
question?
just that I was always yeah, thank you so much. It's great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Are you actually making that? You're making it while we're doing this?
No, I had a bit of a difficult afternoon and I couldn't coordinate all the ingredients today. So I'll probably do it on Friday morning early.
Lovely. Okay.
But thank you. It's terrific. It's really good because it's not too advanced and it's not too basic. It's just hitting the spot. Thank you so much.
Good. Absolutely wonderful. Well, when you've made it, send us a picture.
Okay.
I like to show.
Send the picture via United Synagogue.
Good idea.
So I'll have to get my husband to help me. I'm technologically
You could all send us pictures.
challenged.
Maybe we'll do a
That's what my
prize of
kids
all
say.
panel. I'll have to consult the United Synagogue. Maybe we could do something.
Once it's
Maybe we
cooked,
could send. Maybe we could send the food through the Zoom.
Yeah.
Once the sauce has boiled, what do we leave it boiling?
No, it goes on.
This is nearly done. I just need to be near the cooker while this is going on.
Yeah.
Celia,
obviously.
what wine would you serve with this?
Whatever you've got, Slee, what have you got?
Huh?
In number 10.
A Pinot Grigio would be nice with this.
Yeah, nice and cold, a nice white or rosé.
I think white or rosé.
Yeah.
Sorry, do we have to keep the sauce boiling?
I'm bringing it to the boil.
Yeah.
Just come to the boil. Okay. It's cooked.
Celia, we've got another question. How long do we keep the sauce boiling?
Until it comes to the boil, and about 30 seconds after that.
And what temperature do we need the oven on for when we get to the oven stage?
Thank you very much for that, Slee. 180, because we're not far off.
180, we're nearly there.
Yeah.
So for those who are cooking, I think, Nadia, you're cooking. If you put your oven on now, it will warm up.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
My oven is on. That's fine.
Excellent. 180. 100.
I put it on 180, I guess. Thank you.
I'm going to put some nutmeg in here, because I love it. About, not even, about a third of a teaspoon, maybe. We've got a very nice sauce.
Yummy.
I made my sauce before the session started and it's gone all thick now.
Yeah, it will do. That's why I didn't make one earlier. It'll be fine because it'll heat up in the oven, so don't worry.
Okay.
How is Lindsay and Gabriel doing? Are you up to stuff? Are you with us? You there?
I'm just
Sauce
going
is looking good. Excellent.
need a bit more salt in mine.
And Sandra, how are you doing?
Tastes lovely.
Oh, you're tasting already. Okay.
Oh, yeah, well, Celia did, so I did as well.
If you don't taste it, you can't tell if it's good.
Did you have some wine with it?
No, afraid not. I'll give you my address and you can drop me round a bottle, okay?
Okay.
Red or white?
Oh, white, please.
Definitely.
Right, guys, I'm going back to my tomato sauce, which is now cooked. And I'm going to blitz it with one of these. Have you got one of these?
Yeah.
Electric blenders.
Yeah. Never been one for wearing an apron, so this is where you get the tomato sauce all over yourself. We're not making this smooth. I want to keep it with a bit of texture in it.
So you want to keep it quite thick?
Reasonable texture, yes. I actually made one of these earlier because it'll be easier for me when it's cold. Let me just get a clean spoon. You have to taste it to make sure it's seasoned properly. No chef, cook can.
How's it taste, Gabriel?
Tasted it, yeah, just a minute.
Yes.
It's tasting very nice.
Good.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of pepper wouldn't go on this either.
Lovely. Yeah, it's good.
I'm being very careful with mine because one of my friends that's watching tonight is having a birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to give it to her for her lunch.
Oh, lovely.
Those that know who she is. So my sauce is done. It's quite thick.
How are our co-chefs? Are we?
And it's got texture in it. But I'm actually going to use the one I made earlier because it's easier to do with.
Gabriel, you're ready? Good. And Nadia?
Are they ready? Now we're going to assemble it. So we're going to start off with a layer of tomato. There's no particular order, but I like this order.
The exciting bit, the creating it.
A layer of tomato, thin layer on the bottom. Then a layer of aubergine. Just arrange them along. Are my cooks all right with this?
Actually, can you move the camera slightly, please?
Which way?
We can't see the bowl.
Oh yeah, let's see, 1 minute.
Nadia and Sandra are not by their
Thank you.
screens. They might
That's
be
fine
getting
now.
some more ingredients. Wait a second. Nadia, how you with us?
Who's that? So I've got a layer of aubergine on top. And now I'm going to put another layer of tomato.
Someone's asking if the sauce is completely smooth.
No,
No, it's supposed to be quite thick, isn't it?
it can, I think a bit of texture is nicer.
Yeah, so not completely smooth, thickish.
Thickish is good.
More like a puree, no, Celia?
It's just that rough. Let me show you.
Celia, how many layers are you going to do?
Let me just count. If I can, 1, 2, 3, 8 if I can. So I'm going tomato, eggplant, bechamel. Yeah.
Okay, Nadia.
Is the
8
bechamel
layers,
on the top?
like an 8-layer cake. They used to do, I think there was one cake that was always sold as an 8-layer cake.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, one of the bakers used to do like a sponge, cream, chocolate, caramel.
So I'm now on my, I think that's my second layer of aubergine. When you do this shape with the aubergine, when you go to serve it, it's very easy to cut through.
So it's aubergine and then tomato. Another layer of aubergine, it's tomato.
Tomato, aubergine. Yeah.
Right.
Shan, we can't see the ones that our co-chefs are creating here.
I bet they're fab.
Better off that way.
No, you should lift it up and show us on the screen.
At the end,
How good you're doing. I'm sure you're doing a brilliant job. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Well done. That's fabulous.
Got that layer of aubergine, the second layer.
Sandra, let's see. Tilt it a bit. Sandra, tilt it.
I have to tilt the computer, I'm afraid.
So what I'm going to do now.
Look at that, everybody. Wonderful.
Pretty good.
Fabulous.
That's
Good.
fine. I'm now going to put half the sauce over the aubergine. For the gentleman that's got the sauce that's very thick, if you just put spoonfuls, about half of it in spoonfuls, in dollops, it'll melt in the oven. I'll try and stir it if you can, but if not, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Give it a stir first.
So you're putting. Does that go on top of the aubergine?
On top of the aubergine, yeah.
Right. All of it?
No, half.
Half, right.
Have you done 8 layers, Gabriel?
I hope not, not yet. So when we've got that layer of bechamel on top, it should look like that. Some people like to put some cheese on there. I'm not a big cheese eater, so mine's just going on the top. And then the next layer is more aubergine, and this is the last layer of aubergine.
Celia, can you just tilt your bowl so we can see the... Brilliant. So this is the last layer now. This is number 8.
No, this is the last layer of aubergine.
Ah.
And then we're going to have another layer of bechamel.
Wow.
And then a layer of tomato on the top. but
Oh, well.
you can do any order you want. Nobody's going to mark it or whatever. It's just what your taste is.
I think when you do another one of these, I'll get the ingredients and work in my kitchen.
You're not in your needlework room.
No, I think I'll have to move. I'll have to get permission to use my wife's kitchen.
Oh,
I like your wife's
great
kitchen.
man.
I'm sure she'll let
Good
you.
luck.
I think she'll let me, yes. As long as I make enough for everybody.
Why not? Right, so when you've done that, I'm now on my last layer of bechamel. That's all going in.
Lovely. Did it taste good there?
So
I saw that.
yeah, this is quite a good sized dish for this. It's about
Yeah, it looks great.
probably about a 9-inch oval.
You put the breadcrumbs on the top.
And then you put the last bit of tomato on. So spread the whole lot with tomato.
And you say some people would put cheese on top of that?
I'm going to put some cheese on here.
You are?
Yeah. Just clear all this mess
Full
off.
fair you've been entered the waiting room, admit.
Okay, so at the moment it looks like that. Are you all with me, my chefs?
Yes.
Oh, chefs, how are we doing?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'm going to sprinkle the cheese on the top. So you traditionally, it should be a mozzarella.
I thought it was 8:30.
And if you can't get mozzarella where you live, which some of the areas outside London don't have the specialty cheeses, and sometimes even in Manchester we can't get mozzarella, you can use cheddar and it's very successful. So happy for you to use cheddar on it and a good sprinkling on the top. Your taste.
You're using grated cheddar.
No, this one is actually mozzarella today, which is the first I've ever actually used this one. It was one I found. I hope it's going to be nice. This one. It was ready grated.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
I think for those who live in London,
you have more
can't give publicity, but a certain shop in Golders Green, it's rather large. I did see them in there yesterday.
And Temple Fortune. They have it.
I know on Golders Green Road is where I saw it, and I also saw it in a shop in Edgware.
Yeah, that's right, Edgware.
Opposite a synagogue and a supermarket below. We can't advertise them, of course.
It says fancy shredded mozzarella cheese. I mean, that's so Jewish, isn't it? Fancy shredded. So I hope it's going to be nice. So you could now say the dish is finished and ready for the oven.
That looks lovely.
But if you want to finish it again, I've got a fairly new product to the market. Breadcrumbs on the top, but these are the panko breadcrumbs, which are the Japanese ones. Are you all familiar with those?
Mm.
Nobody's answering. So they're very nice flavor. They are less calories and they're very dry. And they were originally made by Japanese. And there's a bit of a story that goes with them. If you don't want to put breadcrumbs on this, by the way, you can just leave it on. So this is the panko ones.
So that's the panko ones.
Yeah. So if you don't want to make your own breadcrumbs and you fancy breadcrumbs, you can buy them ready done. One of my staff actually was telling me a story about how the Japanese came to make panko breadcrumbs, and it was during the war.
Nigel, that looks wonderful.
Can everybody see, by the way? That's ready for the oven. If you have got any spills around the side, I'd advise that you wipe them off because it'll burn on the side otherwise. Okay, I'm now going to pop that in the oven on 180. It'll take about 20 minutes to half an hour.
Sorry, what material is that? Isn't it? Because I've got I put mine in a Pyrex bowl. Won't that burn? Or
What? Sorry?
what material is that bowl? Because if I put in a Pyrex,
It's Pyrex. It's old-fashioned Pyrex.
okay, and you can put it in the oven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The oven
The
proof.
Pyrex can go in the oven.
And sometimes I'd use something like that, you know,
Okay.
if you want to be a bit smarter.
I just wanted. Right, so we're putting it in the oven for 20 minutes now.
A good 20 minutes. You'll know when it's done because it'll get the cheese will melt and get a little bit of colour on it.
Okay, I'll put it in now. Thank you.
It'll take half an hour.
How is your dish list looking? Is that Alistair who's making it as well?
Let's have a
Yes, this is Alistair. I keep on having to run from the lounge to the.
Because we can't see a picture of your creation.
maybe we'll see it when it's finished. That would be nice.
You can't see. I can show you if you want. But,
yeah, let's see. Why not? Of course. Drum roll. Let's see.
Yeah.
We can't see it now. Oh yes, lovely.
Let's have a look.
you see me? I don't know.
No.
Celia, you've been asked to continue your story about the panko crumbs.
Yeah, I've got corrected. I'm sorry. So seemingly during the war, the Japanese were all on campsites in different places, and they had all the ingredients to make bread. So they had flour, they had yeast, they had salt, and no ovens. So one of them had a brainwave. They had a metal tray, and they made like a bread mix and put it on the metal tray very thin, plugged it into the engine, the battery in the lorries, and it cooked in a thin layer and made breadcrumbs.
Wow.
And from that, they developed a process, and that they still make it in a similar sort of way. So it's not like a bread that rises and you have a crust and then you've got all the soft crumbs underneath. Seemingly that's what they did. And they're drier, they're much drier crumbs than if you make your own breadcrumbs. And taste very nice. So that's the story of panko that I heard. It may be true, it may not.
Are we gonna try and move to cheesecake?
We're on cheesecake now.
We're on cheesecake now while the other dish is cooking beautifully.
Yeah. Everybody ready to move on? Okay.
Alistair, are you going to eat yours tonight?
I might have a little bit tonight, but probably save it for tomorrow and maybe Friday lunchtime. I don't know.
Okay, very nice, lovely.
Really well.
Looks good.
Really well.
Looks good.
And just get rid of all this on the right place. Okay. Right, so now we're going to make, how can you have Shavuot without a cheesecake? Impossible. This is my basic recipe that I've had since I started baking, really. And one of the dishes that launched me into catering world. I used to supply some of the little local coffee shops with this long before people had the selections of cheesecakes that they have now. So I'm going to share it with you. It's what I call my basic recipe. And with that, you can do so many things. You can put so many toppings, so many different ideas. And it is so easy, which is, to my mind, what it's all about. So,
Are our co-chefs making cheesecake as well?
anybody making it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
This
Sandra's making.
cheese is-
Lindsay and Gabriel are making. Nadia? No. Alistair, you making cheesecake?
Not for the moment, thanks.
Ah, Juliet Solomon is also making. Where's Juliet Solomon? I've lost her. Right.
Okay, so you need a tin ideally with a loose bottom of tin foil. Okay. And I've got some paper, non-stick paper or greaseproof paper cut to the shape of the base. And the only reason we need that is it makes it much easier to get the cake out of the tin when it's finished. So we're going to grease the tin. Just let me get some paper to do that. Does anybody ever, just going back a bit, anybody use those panko crumbs?
I just got some other breadcrumbs from a shop in Golders Green.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Panzer there.
Any breadcrumbs are fine, but the panko ones are like the newest thing around. Seem to.
Celia, we've just been asked if you can freeze the cheesecake after it's cooked.
I think it's better frozen.
I think better frozen.
I think and the last stages in the freezer. So I'm just going to freeze the tin,
I don't know, in our house, cheesecake never gets to the freezer. There's no chance.
I love it. So I'm just greasing the sides with a little margarine. And then putting the base in the tin. This is like an American cheesecake, so we're going to use digestive biscuits, but if you want to be more modern, you want a different taste, then you can use the Lotus biscuits. Are you all familiar with Lotus?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Lotus biscuits, Lotus spread.
Yeah. Biscuits are lovely.
I see from some messages I'm getting here that quite a number of people use panko crumbs.
Oh, that's
some people have used it for a crispy chicken dish.
Yeah.
Somebody's used the breadcrumbs for supper tonight.
Yeah, and we use the panko on our katsu chicken.
On your?
Katsu chicken.
Oh.
Again,
Okay.
it's like a very nice sweet curry that goes with what I would say looks like a chicken schnitzel. The only difference being it's got the panko crumbs on it. So we're going to put our digestive biscuits in a bag. You can put them in a Magimix type thing if you want. I quite like to do it by hand. It gets rid of all your frustrations here. You can batter it with a rolling pin. That's how they taught me in college you had to do it all those years ago.
Our duo team here is working hard on their biscuits.
Are they all doing their biscuits?
Can you all see everybody? It's Gabriel, isn't it? Gabriel's busy there, crushing the biscuits.
I'm just going to put a little bit of either margarine or butter in a pan to melt. That's going to mix in with the biscuits. It shouldn't get too hot. So give it a good battering. Make sure it's only the biscuits you're battering. I like this because there's no washing up afterwards. Okay, that's fine. Somebody looks like they're battering something there, you can see. And then I'm going to put the melted fat into the bag, mix it all together in the bag.
Melted fat?
Really? Or margarine, it can be.
Right. Or butter?
Yeah, I'm doing butter because why not? I'm just going to see how much it was.
2 ounces.
2 ounces, whatever that is. 60 grams. Okay. It'll take seconds to do it.
Beginning to think about Shavuot and my cheesecakes now. The taste buds are waking up.
Yeah.
Can I ask, are the ingredients on the instructions on email? Can I ask, please?
Yeah.
The ingredients, are they in an email?
There was an instruction sheet that I sent over. I don't know if
I didn't see. I missed it. I wasn't looking.
If you don't get one, just email me.
Okay, I'll see if I can see it. Thank you.
The instruction sheet has a list of ingredients, but it doesn't have the procedure that you're following.
No, I realise that's why I'm writing them down.
No, don't do that. If you send your email, I'll send it.
Yeah, I'll have a look. It's probably there. I've been rather busy last
Celia, if you can send it to Hannah,
Yeah.
we'll send it out to everyone who has joined this evening.
Good idea.
Fine.
I think we didn't want everyone to know beforehand, because then obviously we wanted everyone to join.
So I think it actually has a copy, but if not, with pleasure. Because what I've done, I've set it out stage by stage, so it's very easy to follow.
Okay. Thank
Now
you.
everybody will get a copy.
Yeah, I've got melted.
Before Shavuot, Hannah, so we can do the cheesecake.
Should be
Well, it's always
Yeah,
next year.
we'll get it tomorrow.
There we
Send
are.
it out.
You'll
We'll
all have
send it out
your
tomorrow.
recipes and instructions.
Right, I would never have thought of doing that in the bag. That's
I
okay.
don't like washing up. I don't know about you.
Exactly, it's wonderful. I love shortcuts.
I'm all for shortcuts.
Yay.
And then mix it all together in the bag.
Wow.
That's clever.
It's so clever. I love that. If nothing else, that was worth it.
30 years of cooking in the kosher industry, and you get all the secrets now. I think it's even 35. I can't remember, Celia.
Really? Well,
I think it's been time 2, 3. Okay, then so I've now got the tin with the base. I'm just going to pop this in.
God, I love it.
And then with your hands, clean hands obviously, press everything down and into the balls. It still feels a bit dry, but remember the cheesecake mix going on top is very liquidy, so that holds it together. So it's all done. Very quick.
So how thick is that layer, Celia?
How thick is it?
Half an inch?
No, not even that. About a third, maybe.
Okay. So shallow layer.
Yeah, it's just the base of the cheesecake. My cheesecake is mainly cheese. So.
Cheese, yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to use a mixer so it gets a bit noisy. I've got a full fat cream cheese.
Celia, what size tin is the tin you're using for the quantity you've been making?
It's an 8-inch, and it can be a round or a square. The round one is usually the one that I use if I'm serving it whole, and I usually do a square one if I'm going to cut them into little squares.
So that tin is what is that like about an 8-inch baking tin?
Yes, with a loose bottom.
It looks like an 8-inch baking tin from what we can see.
Okay. So I'm putting the cream cheese in the mixer. This is extremely good.
Is that full fat cream cheese?
Full fat makes a nicer.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah, much better. Definitely the Shavuot's treat.
Yay. Now I bought some cheesecake and it's in the freezer now, and one of them doesn't taste like cheese. I think they didn't use full fat, I think.
I think a lot of shops cheapen it.
Yeah, I've got one that's lovely, tastes like cheesecake. The other one just doesn't. Tastes more like a sponge cake.
Oh, that's no good.
No, I'm very disappointed. It's the make. I'm really disappointed.
There's a certain Manchester cheese I think everybody uses, Celia. Am I right?
Shevington.
So what's that, please?
I think,
what I've got,
I think the proprietor lives in Manchester.
So what's that one you're putting in? please?
Shevington.
Shevington. The Shevington is, I think, it's very good cheese.
Yeah.
And then some sour cream.
He makes the cheese. That his cheese comes in tubs. It used to come in bags, but now it comes in tubs.
Oh,
If you can't get sour cream, you can use fresh cream.
And how much would you put in? How much sour cream or fresh cream?
Small tub.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
The recipe's on there, 4 ounce
4 ounces.
or thereabouts. And then some sugar. I'm just going to mix those together and make it smooth. So forgive the noise for a minute.
cool. Sounds like being at the dentist.
How's it going? My double team there. Lift it up. Let's see.
Sorry,
Let's see your cake.
not ready yet. Not ready. So I've got
Okay.
2 eggs going in there.
Oh, cool. Collapse.
2 eggs, and to my mind, the taste, which is really important, is that I love vanilla. Bit addicted to vanilla, but it's got to be vanilla extract, not essence.
Ah.
Essence isn't the real thing. This is, to my mind, this is the best one on the market. It's expensive.
Is that the one that's American?
I don't know where it's from. It's called Nielsen and Massey. Been on
Is that the Costco one?
Don't know. You can buy it anywhere.
So what's the
Nielsen
make?
and
please?
Massey.
Last it's essence. Make sure you buy vanilla essence. Extract.
Extract, yeah.
So what's the make, please?
Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Nielsen. And the second word is Massey. Massey.
EY.
Oh, I think I bought that. It's sort of liquidy, like a bit like oil almost. Yes?
Yeah.
Brown
Yeah, I
putting
think I
in.
bought it.
It's very concentrated. So to use it, make sure you pour a little bit into your cap of the bottle and then put it in. If you try and pour it over, you'll end up with far too much. So I've just got, I don't think you can see, but a tiny bit at the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's about £5 or £6. Is that the one?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's more expensive than the
It's worth every
essence one.
penny. Right, so I'm just going to mix this together now.
Celia, somebody's just double checking if they missed the flour going in. Did the flour go in there?
It's going in now.
Ah, the flour hasn't gone in yet.
No. Some people don't put flour in at all. I just like a little bit to firm it up. So
Right.
no, between 1 and 2 spoons of flour just gives it a firmness, and it varies because of the thickness of the cheese.
Okay.
So just a little bit, spread it around. I put about 1.5 in there. hopefully that should be done. It's quite liquidy and smooth. Okay.
For those of you who want to re-watch or listen tomorrow when you're preparing your own dishes, the recording will be put on the US TV channel tomorrow. So you can re-watch it or you can listen in case you missed any instructions.
Yeah, I can watch the beginning.
It all comes out perfectly.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, that's good. I missed the beginning of all this.
That's the US TV channel.
Yeah.
United Synagogue TV channel.
Yeah. Thank you.
That. All the mix.
So everybody's going to be busy tomorrow.
Aren't they just? But it's so quick to do that.
Celia,
The secret is in
the question is, would it work to mix by hand if someone doesn't have a food mixer?
Yes, quite easily.
Yeah?
Quite easily, yes.
Yeah, it will work. Just
Yes.
a lot of elbow grease, but it should work.
The secret of this now is in the baking, because we're going to cook it till it just gets like a skin over the top, and it'll feel still very loose underneath. So when you take it out of the oven, it feels almost like it's not cooked. It sets when it cools.
Oh.
So if it's too golden brown on the top, you're overcooking it. Okay, and that will make you a very dry cake.
So just going back to the aubergine, how will we know if that is cooked correctly, if it's been not too long and not too short a time in the oven?
So the thing with it is, it's more or less cooked before it goes in the oven, if you think about it. The aubergine's cooked, the tomato sauce is cooked, the bechamel sauce is cooked. So what you're doing is combining the flavors. So I would reckon as long as it's been in a minimum of 20-25 minutes, it's probably cooked through. All I'm doing now is making sure the cheese is melting on the top and we get a bit of colour.
Okay, thank you.
You can't really overcook it unless you burn the top. And when I do recipes for other people to use, I like to go for things that I know work, are very simple, with ingredients that you can buy easily. Otherwise, I find people just don't do it. You know, I absolutely adore the ottolenghi style of cooking and the salads and what have you.
Celia, sorry to interrupt. Somebody's asked what the temperature is for the cheesecake, please.
I'm on 180, and in 10 minutes, I'm going to lower it to 160.
Then how long
180 for 10 minutes. 180 for 10 minutes, and then?
And then down to 160.
For how long?
Usually about half an hour, I think. That's how long I do. I do it, have a look. Yeah, half an hour should do it.
So 40 minutes in total.
Again, there's not a lot of cooking to do. It's just cooking the egg through, so it doesn't take that long. And then when it comes out of the oven, it continues cooking, and then it'll set as it goes cold. So when it does come out of the oven and it's cool, you could do it leaving it at least overnight in the fridge. I'm going to show you, I made one yesterday. I made it very late last night, and I'll show you. It's not been in the freezer, it's just been in the fridge. Let me just tidy up here, and then I can bring the other things out.
How long did you say to be in the oven?
About half
10 minutes. 10 minutes at 180, and then another half an hour at 160.
Thank you.
Shouldn't be longer than that.
I'll try one, but not now.
Looks good.
Let me have a look how my aubergine's doing. Pretty nicely. We're ready in 5 minutes.
put the cheesecake in for 10 minutes on my head.
So this is the cheesecake I made last night. I made a square one.
We can't see.
Now I can see. I need to do that.
I could see, yeah, lovely.
Okay.
Wow.
I hope so. I've not taken it out. So
Lovely.
it should ease its way out.
But this you left in the fridge overnight.
Yes, I should have taken it out a few minutes ago.
Wow.
Looks lovely.
Lovely.
Yum. Can you put it through the television? I mean, through the computer? Has anyone read Charlie and the Chocolate Charlie and whatever it's called, Charlie and the Chocolate
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Absolutely love it.
Something like that, because I think they put things through the television, didn't they? I think.
Oh, they did something you could smell through the television, didn't they?
That looks lovely, Celia.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Does.
It comes out because of the paper underneath.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do, this one I've done square so that we can cut them into cubes because it's quite rich. I think I should get 4 or 5. Yeah, I think 4.
Okay, you'll just have to close your eyes and imagine it in a minute that you're eating it. Just imagine the taste.
The raw mixture tastes very nice.
It's a little bit soft because I would have preferred to freeze that really. It might be too fresh.
So you would recommend freezing a cheesecake?
Yeah, I like to freeze it. It'll taste yummy, but it'll be hard to cut.
Celia, what size square tin is that?
8 inch.
8 inch. It's an 8-inch square tin.
Yeah, it's not easy to cut. Anybody got any tips? It's very soft. But it's very delicious.
It looks it. Yum.
So what I'm going to do with these is put some strawberry on the top of some of them, sour cream on the top of some of them. Let me just find
Celia,
out.
you got a question?
Yeah.
What time can Pat and I come round for a piece?
When would you like? Coming to London, so no problem.
And you got another person saying they put sour cream mixed with sugar on the top to make it look whiter.
I've got the same. I did keep a little
And
bit.
return to the oven for 5 minutes. Oh wow!
I don't always return it to the oven. You can do. But it never lasts that long, Lee.
No, I've never yet seen any of our cheesecakes go in the freezer.
I normally put mine in even overnight, but it was a bit warm.
I'll consult the boss and say maybe we should try one in the freezer.
That's sour cream.
Oh wow.
I kept a little bit from the mix. I'll pop that on there.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And you'd serve that with a nice, sweet, chilled white wine.
Yeah, or what's wrong with a nice cup of tea?
Or dessert. What a nice cup of tea.
Even better. Goes well with it. Oh wow.
A northern girl, what can you do?
Oh look at that. Keep it there. Can everybody see the screen? If you look to the right of the screen, you can see Lindsay and Gabriel Cluton's creation.
Oh,
that's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, look at that.
That looks fabulous.
What? Can't see. Well done.
Lift it up a little bit high, more on an angle. There you are.
Can't.
Wonderful.
What is it?
See.
Actually,
I think you've got a budding young chef in the making there, Celia.
good. I just love to encourage people to cook as
Yeah.
well, because it's not hard.
You can put yourself down for culinary school now.
That would be nice.
Very nice. Well done.
As I said, that's how we started off. All those original people that came to my classes, I think most of them are grandmas now.
Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed your class, but I don't think I'll ever be a
Very,
grandma.
very well, Celia.
What I was going to say, one of my comments was, in those days, we never had any men in the class. And now, when I've done classes or I've had done a demonstration, we have lots of men, and men are fantastic cooks.
Does anybody have any questions?
I did put one in the chat window, but it may be off topic for the time being, about knowing some guidance as to what does freeze well and what doesn't.
Sorry?
In general?
Yeah, I mean, is there any way of knowing whether something will freeze well or whether it won't?
I think it's usually when it's got too much liquid in it. It can go sloppy, the dish. So that's why it's quite important to dry the aubergine. Then it will freeze very nicely. Otherwise it will come out a bit watery. What else doesn't freeze? I can't think off the top of my head.
Celery, yeah.
This is cooked, by the way, now.
Oh, wow.
Well, can't see. Oops. It's
Just
too
lift it
low
up,
down.
Celia.
Yeah,
There you
can't
are,
see.
there's your cooked
That's
cheesecake.
bigger.
Whoops.
Oops, can't see.
Celia, can you lift it up just one more time?
Yeah. It's very hot.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Voila.
Okay,
Wow,
so
what a lovely meal.
one more question. My Pyrex bowl has a little bit of burnt mark on the top.
Yes.
What's the best way to get it off? Put it in the dishwasher or just do it
You
by
mean
hand?
it's already been burnt before tonight?
No, I think tonight was the first time it's because I put the aubergine in it.
Yes. So it'll probably come off with something like wire wool.
Don't have any.
Lindsay and Gabriel are enjoying themselves there. How's it taste? It's good?
So I don't think I've
Well
got any of
done.
that. It's
Looks
got normal
lovely.
fairy liquid or dishwasher.
You can dry it in the dishwasher first, but you might find
Excellent. It looks delicious. It really does.
I'd be inclined to soak it at the first opportunity. But if you buy yourself some wire wool, it'll come off.
Wire wool.
With the knife, maybe. Same thing.
Okay, thank you.
And this you could serve. I think it's probably.
Celia, that was wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Now, if you look, you can see the size. If I can lift it up, if it's not too hot, you can see I did it in the glass, so you can see the layers.
That's lovely.
Okay.
Lovely.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you
Good.
so much.
Celia, well done. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Celia.
You've all had-
It was
all had
lovely to
brilliant
see you
insight.
again.
Nice to see you all. I wish you all a very, very good year. Well, good
Thoroughly
job.
enjoyed. Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Have a
Thank you
wonderful
so
young day,
much.
everybody.
The recipes, the procedure that you followed.
Yes, I've got them all completely printed out. I think Hannah has them from United Synagogue, so she will send you them tomorrow.
Anna will email everybody. You'll get the recipe and the instructions.
Perfect.
So you can make, they will go out tomorrow.
They could do with having it first thing in the morning so they can get the shopping in.
We will. Hannah's already on it. She will make sure everyone gets it tomorrow morning.
That's
There you go.
brilliant.
Thank you.
So now I've got to eat all this cheesecake myself, haven't I?
Ah, there must be some way of getting it through the computer.
So if you don't recognise me next time you see me, you know why. That's for sure.
Yes.
Everybody have a lovely, lovely Yom Tov.
Hopefully
Enjoy making
soon.
Thank you.
cheesecakes.
Thank
Well
you,
done
lovely.
to the chefs that cooked on the night.
Can I have a
Enjoy.
look now?
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful
you.
Yom Tov.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Bye.
Bye.
Exciting Shavuot.
Bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye.
Be well,
Bye,
everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I watched.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, Houston. Bye.
Bye, C.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, Esther. You all right? Cheesecake for you tomorrow?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yes, thank you.
Friend's birthday, so she's going to
Hello,
get.
Celia. Do you remember us? You catered our daughter's wedding.
I can't. What?
Robert and Stephanie Hurst. You catered our daughter's wedding in Grosvenor Square.
Wow.
4.5 years ago.
Yes.
Of course, I remember that one.
It's not that long ago. There's people,
No.
over
And Caroline gave birth to a baby 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Mazel tov. Beautiful.
Yeah.
There was more.
What did she have?
A little boy
Oh.
Mazel tov.
called Ernest.
Lovely.
And you can pride yourself that baby was a consequence of your catering at her wedding 4.5 years ago.
Oh, thank you.
It must have
Very
been good
nice.
food.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
The wedding, a lovely venue.
Where can we get the recipes?
They're going to email you them tomorrow morning.
Oh, lovely. Okay. I shall
You'll
definitely
get
make
the
them.
instructions and the recipes.
You've got my email address. I can send them over to you. No problem.
Okay, great. Okay.
Anybody that wants to do that, no problem. It's celia@celiaclyne.com. Okay.
Well done.
Okay, it's lovely. Thank you.
I like the aubergines. They look very nice.
They taste yummy, honestly. It's one of my favorites.
How is your son, by the way?
Mark is great, thank you very much. We've opened a deli as an outlet for our fresh food because, of course, we've not catered for 15 months. It's been pretty grim. So we've opened a deli in Manchester, more for him. And yeah, that's where he is now. He's still there because we do a takeaway at night.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
You should open one down here in London as well.
Pardon?
You should open one down here in London.
I think too difficult.
Okay.
I'm hoping we'll be back catering very soon though. So
I'm looking forward to it, Celia. We're looking forward.
Yeah. I hope so. Thank you for joining us. That's so nice.
Yes.
And thank you for catering our daughter's wedding. As I say, you are partially responsible for the birth of a lovely baby boy last week.
Oh, I get made responsible for some things, I'll tell you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Jolly good,
Thank you, Celia. Thank you. Greetings from Finchley. It's Sharon Leitner here.
You're all right.
Yes, lovely to see you. And thank you so much. What a privilege. Thank you.
Nice to see you. We're hoping to be there for you.
Oh, good. Okay, so maybe we'll see you around.
I hope so.
All the best. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely Yontif.
I know.
Well done, Celia. It was really enjoyable.
Thank you, Zvi. Thank you for looking after us all.
My pleasure.
That's
Always a
very
pleasure.
good. Thank you. I hope I'll
We're a
see
team. KLBD and the caterers are a team.
Make sure you're on my jobs.
I'll try. I know somebody who will do it for
I'm sure.
Take care.
Hopefully we're coming back soon.
I look forward.
Take care. Take care.
Good night.
Is my friend still here from Houston? Where is she?
No,
she's gone.
No, she's gone.
How nice is that
No,
though?
she's gone.
That she joined.
It was lovely. Really, really nice. Really special.
Okay.
She tries to keep in touch with Manchester, even though she's been gone for 30 odd years at least. She keeps in touch with everything that's
And the
going on.
rest.
Lovely.
Yeah, maybe the rest. Yeah, because she was at uni away from me, wasn't she?
Mm.
Yeah, all the years go by.
Yeah.
Okay, are we cooking
thank
tomorrow?
you very much. I'm going to end the call now for everyone. I'm sorry.
That's all.
But thank
Okay.
you again to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Shabbos,
Thank
everybody. Lovely, lovely Yom Tov. Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, Hannah.
Bye.